What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we will be discussing some OCs I have from a show that is released on YouTube called My Pride. It's a really cool series. I'll leave a link to the first episode below, and it's animated, it has lines in it, so what more could you want from a show? But anyway, I will be drawing some OCs that I came up with from the show, that are based off the show. And I'll be talking a little bit about them, give a little backstory, and yeah, just a little nice treat, something a little different. Alright, first off, we got the mains. They're basically in charge of the Pride. So first off, we got Speed Main. He has an incredibly short attention span. He also sometimes goes on hunts with the lionesses, which is rare, but it can happen. Males can sometimes help the females. His brother is Croc Main. He's very noble, respectful, but also incredibly sweet and kind. He's notorious for taking in stray lionesses or cubs that just need their help. Even lost young male cubs he'll take in sometimes, and of course they have to leave the Pride once they come of age, but he's just a small guy with a big heart, basically. Same with his brother Croc Main. Like, they're both really just sweethearts. Speaking of Croc Main, let's move on to him. He's very wise, patient, and proof of that is he'll let the cubs ruffle his mane and put feathers and sticks into it just to entertain them, to let the other huntresses have a break from like all this craziness. Croc Main is very scarred compared to his brother, mainly because from his namesake he's really good at fighting crocs and whatnot. He is responsible for saving his daughter Ragged, which you'll see in a minute, and basically blocking her from a croc attack, and he's just a great dad all around, and he's just a soft boy. He's hunched over, you know, because he's a really tired dude too. Now we got the Hunt Chief. She's basically in charge of all the hunts and whatnot, and the huntresses. For the Hunt Chief, we got Rivetongue. She's a bit of a bitch, but she will do anything to protect the Pride. And like I said before, she's incredibly mean most of the time. There might be a slimmer of decency in her, who knows. She is, though, very good at reading prey's movements, which makes her excellent in hunts. Though there are rumors surrounding her saying how she's plotting against the mains of the Pride, but those are just rumors. She was taken into the Pride. She wasn't born. She was taken into the Pride when she was around 2 years old. That was after she had her huntress name. She was exiled from her last Pride due to unknown causes, so that makes the Pride a little bit wary of her already. But yeah, she's not much of a cub person. She tends to stay away from that, and she just kind of sits there basically just watching everyone, which is kind of creepy. People don't like her a whole lot, but she's an excellent asset to the Pride nonetheless. Now we move on to the huntresses, or the lions who are mainly involved with, or in charge of securing prey and food for the Pride. First off, we got Drizzleflight. She's graceful, quiet, soft. She basically tends to be the peacekeeper in the Pride, and she's incredibly sneaky and witty. I really love her character design. I really took the name Drizzle and just ran with it, because every fur design on her pelt, I decided because Drizzle's like rain, and her pelt looks like it was just rained on because it's so droopy and whatnot, and I really love it. And then next to her, we got Solar Capture. Solar Capture is adventurous, strong. She has a really thick body build and can sometimes be mistaken for a main due to her pattern and fluffy neck, and then her strong build, as I mentioned before. So the mains will often ask her to come on patrols with them. So when a no main sees, oh my gosh, there's 3 male lions there, we shouldn't invade, that kind of scares them off without a fight needed. Solar Capture is very good friends with Speed Main, and she's also great at hunting. The Pride doesn't know how she got her scar, but Solar Capture and her sister Flame Sprint were taken into the Pride, so she had her scar a little bit before that. So, and she doesn't really tell anyone, which is interesting. Now we got Resilient Fur. She is deaf. She is very sweet and kind. She gets along just fine with Drizzleflight. They're practically best friends. They're sisters, actually. So, they're just each other's best friends, really. She is one of the best hunters and fighters. Cascade Stock was the one who helped her cope with her deafness and just really grow stronger from what some may see as a disability. And so she learned to feel vibrations through the ground, and that makes her an excellent hunter, and she's really in tune with her environments now. Cascade Stock is her mother, as well as Drizzle White's mother too. So and Cascade Stock is really close with her daughters, really close. She's just a great mother all around. You'll hear more about her later. Now, Flame Sprint. Flame Sprint is very fast, as the name entitles. Some animals confuse her for a cheetah because she has a really bright yellow pelt like one. She will tend to race Speedmane a lot, but it always ends in a tie because they're both pretty much evenly matched in the speed department. She has no patience at all, and she has a huge, embarrassing crush on Speedmane, though she doesn't always show it. But she is also, like every lioness in the Pride, is a great hunter. Now, on to Cascade Stock. Cascade Stock is strong. She is Crocmane's only mate. She's very motherly. She would be Hunt Chief, but is too busy caring for her cubs and just all around just being the mother hen in the Pride. She's very nice, but she also will put Riftongue in her place if need be. So she'll literally tell Riftongue to shut up and sit down. Now, on to Smoke Rise. Smoke Rise is another lion who was taken into the Pride. Speedmane found her, and they became like brother and sister instantly. Though other than that, she is pretty much a loner in the Pride. She really can only hang around Cascade Stock and Owlcapper, who you'll hear about Owlcapper in a minute. And yeah, she kind of just has a moody personality, really emo-like, but she just doesn't know why she acts like this. It's just how she is, and she can't really explain it. And the lions who only really see that as Speedmane, Cascade Stock, and Owlcapper. And Crocmane also respects her as her own lion. It's just she doesn't feel as close to Crocmane because she's never really attempted to try anything to further their friendship or bond as like pride mates and whatnot. Now we got the elder of the group, Owlcapper. She's not incredibly old. She's not too much older than Cascade Stock, but she's kind of up there. She's the pride's only elder. She's not too old, like I said. She recently had her last litter, Peace, Wave, and Snake, who you'll see in a minute. She gives female cubs nicknames until they have their huntress exams, so the pride can call them in case the pride's not related to them in any way or shape or form. Because in the show they call them daughter or sister, and most of the lions in the pride aren't related to the cubs, like Solar Capture or Flame Sprint. So they need a name to call the cubs instead of just, I don't know, cub. Her tail was bit off by a croc. There's a lot of croc injuries, I just realized, in this lineup of characters. She is a great leaper, and she has owl feathers resting at the top of her head, and she is incredibly wise, just like Crocmane. I really went ham on her owl design, or an owl design on her pelt, she has a feather design on her shoulder, and then feathers in her hair. I just really went ham on the owl idea. But now let's move on to male cubs. First off, we got Tiny. He's the son of Cascade Stock and Crocmane. He's one of their newest litter. He's grumpy. He looks up to his parents, though. Hangs out with Ragged and Peace mainly, and not any of the other cubs, which you'll see why in a minute. But he, like his name entitles, he's very small, and that can kind of cause him to have a bad attitude towards people. But he's just a little butt. Now we got Peace. He gets along pretty much with everyone, hangs around Tiny most of the time, and he's just generally really quiet. He doesn't say too much. But when he does, it tends to be something really important. Now we got the female cubs. Like I mentioned before, Ragged was attacked by a croc, and she's very, very scarred, and she didn't let that change her personality. She's still very sweet. She loves her father a whole lot, mainly due to her him saving her, but she loved me prior to that too. She loves her mom a whole lot too. Her mom is very wise and helps guide her in life, though she's often bullied by Snake and Riftongue. So that's kind of sad. Snake is brat. That's the only way to describe her. She will play tricks on anyone. She doesn't listen really much to anyone except for Rhyvetongue. So, and her mother. But she is incredibly honest, I will say. Now, Wave, she has strong emotions, but is very mature about them. She knows how to handle them well. And she is tolerant of her sister Snake, but doesn't like to get into her antics and doesn't like to get involved with really her mother or Rhyvetongue. It's not because she's mad at her mom or anything, but it's just, she just doesn't like to hang around grown-ups, kind of. Because they often tell her that she's too excitable, she's too this, she's too that. So she just tends to hang around cubs her own age. And finally, we have Cold. Does not talk at all. Very little emotion, though she does show great signs in becoming a future huntress. I didn't have much for Cold. She was kind of the last character just kind of thought up, because I just felt like I needed one more cub, even though the pride's massive as it is. But I really, really like how all these designs came out, and especially Crocmane's. Like, he's probably one of my favorite. Speaking of Crocmane's, I actually have an animatic that I'm working on of him and Ragged, guest starring Tiny in Solar Capture too, coming out soon. I'm still in the rough sketch of it, but I pretty much have it all mapped out. Now I just have to color it and line art it, so that might take a little bit. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little different type of video, and anyway guys, see you later.
Once in a dream I thought I could be anyone I wanted. Hard to believe, but it felt real to me until the morning. When I'm awake, I still can't shake the taste of freedom. Once in a dream